jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one open sleigh. Hey.
How do you say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in French?
Joyeux Noël et bonne année.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Boats wrapped up, round up out in the outer harbor, and proceed by the harbor master's boat dock over here, where 4 clergymen will be on hand to bless the boats as they pass. Then they proceed back out of the harbor again.
Well, I'm 90 and a half. I'll be 91 in June. And I defy anybody to tell me I look it, because I know I don't.
What was it actually like? I mean, obviously the school bus didn't come and pick you up in 1897.
School bus? There was no such thing as a school bus. You went on your own 2 feet.
David Troutman. I'm the Community Access Coordinator for Larchmont and Marinette Community Television, channels 35 and 36.
Standing here in front of a very interesting...
This is a model of the new addition to the library, and it really, Ann Hochman made it. It's an absolutely beautiful rendition of what the new addition will look like.
Looks fabulous.
We're very proud of it. The lobby of the Emlyn, this will connect the library with the Emlyn Theater, and we'll have a brand new lobby for the Emlyn, which we're all excited about. Plenty of room, a meeting room, the director's office, a room for the Historical Society, quiet study space. We're very, very pleased with
this is very thrilling. What a nice addition to our wonderful community. Come over here, Frank. Are you being successful here at this stand?
Oh, yeah. We're running out of hot dogs. Isn't that good?
Welcome to the Best of LMC-TV in 1985. I'm Mary Ann Sullivan, President of the Board of LMC-TV. This past year, over 90 programs have been produced at our studios at Mamaroneck High School.
Cancer has Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Neptune in opposition. So this is not exactly an easy month for Cancerians. They are very sensitive and they tend to suffer in silence.
Undeniably, people can argue about just about anything, no matter how small. But the one thing that brings us all together is the holiday season.
Hi, welcome again to our show. I'm Russell Harvey, and welcome to Russell Harvey Almost Live.
And our guest tonight is the mayor of the village of Mamaroneck, Paul Noto. Paul, I'd like to thank you for being our first guest in this inaugural program.
Mike, I'm honored. I think LMC-TV is an exciting resource in the community, and unfortunately, it's probably the best kept secret in town, and I'm very happy to participate, and I hope this is the first of many, many such shows, because we have a lot of people in the community I'm sure other people would like to hear from.
Mike Kochi here is the switcher for the show. Are you not?
Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. This is the switcher.
I didn't ask you how you were. I said, are you the switcher?
Yes, I am the switcher of the show.
Okay. What is this gizmo behind you? You want to tell people what that is and what it does?
Sure. This here gizmo, this is what we call the switcher.
It's always been a wonderful town. I'm part of it. I know Steve is too. We couldn't, we wouldn't want want to go anyplace else to live.
Then you think that the changes that they've had in Mamaroneck have not been bad, but it's just kind of been good.
They've been, oh yes.
Right along
really have been
as a
good
community.
The study commission did something that's never been done before in a community like this. It found out what the people of the community wanted.
4 years ago, LMC-TV started, and today we have a live audience, and we have a birthday cake, and boy, if the camera could only swing over and show a table full of goodies.
I know what you are, but why don't you look right over here so we can see what you are?
An elephant.
Look at that. Turn to the side view.
This week, I've got someone whom I work with every day. His name is Joe Windish, and he's LMC-TV's brand new Community Access Coordinator.
I've been telling people to stop by anytime you want to stop by. So I get here and there's people stopping by all day long, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time, I'll be right with you.
Good evening, I'm Pat Latona.
And I am Walter Reichman.
And welcome to another edition of Our Times, a community news program about you and for you.
I didn't feel that I was entertained, and I didn't think seeing this movie was worthwhile, except to
I have to
review
disagree
it.
with you. I loved the music. I loved the characters.
This is part of the gala grand opening of the LMC-TV Studio 2. This is our second studio. We're standing in the Emlyn Theater lobby in Mamaroneck right now. If you're watching this, this is your TV studio. You can use it. Thanks, Ned. This is our new brochure. Just in case you may have not seen it. You probably haven't because it just came out.
Excuse me. Wait a minute. Can I have an interview, please? Excuse me. Wait.
Your first kiss. You're on the air.
I'd like to wish a happy Valentine's Day to my Valentine.
You can only turn your head so far, and you've got to stop. This eagle, he can swing his head, look right behind him, and keep turning it and look over there. He can turn his head 3/4 of a circle.
To share some of these photographs with you, these unidentified photographs, these footprints.
But if you receive cut flowers and you're going to put it in your own vase or it comes in a vase, the best thing to do then would be to change the water every day.
And would you also cut the stem if possible?
Right. You always, whenever flowers are out of water, you always cut the stems.
The couch there is that it has been treated with trichloroethane, okay, which is known by its brand name of Scotch Guard. And it makes the couch extremely stain resistant.
We did have some hard times at home, and there was this attention, you know, Matt's getting a little bit more attention, why is that type problem, but I think they were very scared.
Listen, Ethel, I can't talk to you right now. Why not? Well, I'm doing a show. Where? It's at the, the Chamberlin. What? Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Gremlin. It's a Gremlin. Hold on a minute.
Something else that you can be aware of, when the camera is loaded, you can release this cartridge for cleaning purposes. Also, in here, if you forgot what film you're working with,
Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Oh, mine.
I told you not to call me at my job anymore. I'll pay you when I have the money. Oh, gotta go. Hi, Larchmont Linda here for the Murray Avenue Money Store. Do you have trouble getting money from banks? Credit worries? Is the next chapter in your book chapter 11? Well, if you're anything like me, you have people calling you at work, harassing you, threatening to repossess your body parts. I mean, it's so bad I can't even afford a new pair of implants. Gosh, to consolidate those monthly bills and pay them off with one easy payment, get help from the Murray Avenue Money Store. The Murray Avenue Money Store is here for you. A second mortgage based on the equity in your lovely home or someone else's lovely home. Get your money fast. No credit checks, no references, no questions. Approved on your smile and handshake alone. So stop by one of our two convenient locations at 1214 Murray Avenue or 1313 Harbor Heights Road. No fuss, no muss. We'll even allow 1 month grace period for you. Money flows through the Murray Avenue Money Store like soap through the laundromat. So drive on down to the Murray Avenue Money Store and tell them that Larchmont Linda sent you. Woo!
Thank you. Oh, what a lovely audience. I'm so glad to be here. This is going to be a very exciting show. You know, I'm so glad to be out of New York City, where it's impossible to be a mime, because you're always screaming for help, okay? Oh, it's true. And a late-breaking news story. Please, I just heard that June Allison is in the Larchmont, Mamaroneck area. So please, please, for your own safety, move to higher ground. It's true. If one of those adult diapers gets loose, it'll be worse than the December nor'easter. She knows what I'm talking about. Okay, can we talk? I just came back from England. It was lovely. Yes, yes. I was invited to Ascot. You know that horse racing is a very formal affair. And what do I know from horse racing? The closest I've ever been is the stables at Yonkers Raceway. Yeah, it's true. But, you know, so I asked my daughter, Melissa, to go shopping with me. And we went to all the right places and saw all the right things and finally wound up at my favorite New York store, Tiffany's, where the salesman he suggested the pearls, you know, making reference to that old saying as he put them in front of me. What saying is that? I said. Pearls before swine? Ugh. I could stay home and be insulted, please. So anyway, Ascot was beautiful. It really was. And the purebreds were decked out in their finest, in their satins. And the horses didn't look bad either. It's true. Can we talk? Have you ever seen the Queen? Your Majesty, how many times have you been to the horse races? Oh, it's so true. And her daughter Anne, she is so homely, okay? Bow wow. But I didn't buy the pearls, you know, because when my show wasn't doing well on Fox television, well, I needed something to do. So I designed my own lovely line of jewelry. It's the ultimate in class and elegance, okay? Maybe you've seen it, and it can't be bought in stores. No, wait, are you listening? It's available only on, okay, the Shoppers Channel. It's true, it's true. There's only 1,400 pairs left, you know, and operators are standing by. Please, there's only 5 minutes left, so call for these 1,700 limited pieces. What kind of shopaholics watch these channels? And now for my favorite part of the show. Gossip, gossip, gossip. Okay, can we talk? Let's dish, okay? Today we focus on a local girl, star of stage, screen, and television. She often tells people that she's from Larchmont. Can we talk? Lies, lies, lies. She was born in Brooklyn, okay? Born and raised on the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge. She only moved into the area when she was in high school. She often talks about her days in private school. Okay, please, that's the first time I've ever heard of obedient school referred to as private. It's true. And as far as her Larchmont address, it's as phony as Rob and Laura Petrie's, okay? She lived in Larchmont Woods, and it's a New Rochelle zip code. So who is this Larchmont wannabe? None other than me, Joan Rivers! Ugh.
Live from the village of Mamaroneck, welcome to the 4th annual LMC-TV Awards program. We'll begin tonight's festivities right after this important message.
Parking. Always a nightmare. There's never a space when you need it. No need to fret, though. Available now through the Larchmont Friends of the Asphalt Society, 101 parking tips for Larchmont and Mamaroneck. This handy brochure, available free of charge from the Society. Waste no more precious time by trying these useful tips. 1. When traveling to Mamaroneck Avenue, bring along your elderly Aunt Frida and her qualifying handicap sticker. Always a parking spot waiting for Frida. 2. As you circle the block at Chatsworth and Post Road, leave relatives and friends along the way to occupy parking spaces as they become available. Friends of the Asphalt offers free lessons to accompany this tip. Number 3. Volunteer membership in the fire department entitles drivers to a parking permit for use on the Mamaroneck parking tier. And finally, Connie says, park in Larchmont and walk to Mamaroneck. Yes, as always, Friends of the Asphalt have made available another useful community service. Drop by and pick yours up today. Larchmont Friends of the Asphalt Society, Larchmont Public Works Building, Post Road, Larchmont, New York. Tally-ho or cheers, whichever you prefer.
And now, LMC-TV Board President Sonny Goldberg and Executive Director Joe Windish.
Hello, everybody.
Another year, another award show.
Yeah, but this is a very official award show. I mean, this is our first official award show where there are judges. There were judges, and there are categories and choices, and it's kind of very exciting because
we're getting good at it.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen, and we are really looking forward to sharing with you who wins and what happens. I mentioned judges, and I want to just tell you for a second a little bit about them. When Alexandra LeClure decided that we were going to do an official show and decided that she was going to develop this kind of procedure where we had judges, etc., there was a procedure where we chose about 6 people from the community, a professional, and some people who were just people who were avid watchers of our channel.
5 from Larchmont,
oh, okay.
1 from Mamaroneck, 1 from the incorporated area.
Okay, this is very balanced here.
And 1 from the public access producers.
All right, well, the point is that I will name these people and then I will tell you a small tale about them. The people are sitting right out there. There's Judy Darsky, Bill Lidauer, Sven Ohm, Karen Swanson, and Kate Weingartner. That is 5. And Karen Sampson. In that corner over there, in the right-hand corner right there. Yeah, and there's our judges. And I just wanted to tell you that each one of these people viewed the tapes individually in their homes, and then in the theory that the show must go on March 13th. Does anybody remember what happened on March 13th? The blizzard of '93. The group decided that they were going to view all these tapes together. So they all got together, as we said before, the show must go on, and they made a unanimous decision. And I understand Judy Darsky, who couldn't get her car out of the driveway, was there on telephone or speakerphone, and they made this decision having viewed all of the tapes. So they really put a lot of effort into it, and we thank them very much. Now, I would also just like to add one other thing. The board had nothing to do with this. The staff had nothing to do with this. The Board of Control had nothing to do. I mean, none of us had anything to do with this. This was a decision based on the judges alone, and we have no idea who won. So we thank them, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
I want to tell you a little bit about the criteria that the judges used in their decision, which were, since we are community television, they were looking at things like how the programs addressed the community concerns of Larchmont and Mamaroneck, the community involvement in the production of the project, viewer interest in the program, did it stimulate involvement in the community, and of course, how it looked and was it a good show. So those are the criteria.
Great. All right.
So we'll begin right after this, right?
We got another
Do we have a
commercial?
tape? No, we don't. Am I invited? I lost my place. Somebody, where's my rundown? I think I get more nervous every year.
But you do it so well, Joe.
I think we're introducing Brian.
Yes, who's doing our awards?
No, a commercial. Good. Let's go to this important message.
The Rich Bell Mint presents a valuable collector's item, a pewter replica of the historic United Methodist Church of Mamaroneck. Past issues from the Rich Bell Mint have included such memorable replicas as the Mamaroneck sewage treatment plant with its impressive 4-story tower and the always recognizable Winged Foot Golf Club water tower. Oh, yes, previous issues from the Rich Bell have shown marked increase in value, sometimes as much as 150%. While the Rich Bell can't guarantee an increase of this kind, this beautiful replica will make a stunning addition in every collector's home. Oh, Spence and I would just love to have one. This limited edition is not available in stores, but only through this TV offer. You must order now. Operators are waiting. Operators are getting rather impatient. Frankly, they're getting quite bored. Yes, this detailed pewter replica with its strong Gothic arches and hand-etched stained glass windows is available for a limited time only. Go to the phones. Thousands paid as much as $250 for previous issues, but this exclusive offer is yours for only $85. But there is more. This replica is so true to life, included in this package only if you order now. An authentic flagler bell that drops from its perch high atop a steeple with just the slightest touch. Yes, order yours today.
I am down here swimming around with my friends. I'm flapping my gills, I am pumping my fins. Suddenly I see two shadows on the water. Looks like my favorite father and his daughter. I feel a splash, I hear a ripple. Come on gang, time to nibble. Let's go snacking. Let's go snacking.
Yeah, fish.
For something called the fishing rodeo. It's supposed to be a really big event here in Larchmont. Because I, Rosanna Dana, used to be like this big-time reporter in New York City. But you know, it's like my great Aunt Sheila always said, if it's not one thing, it's another. Either you lose your job or something happens. Excuse me, maybe now you can hear what I'm talking about. Yeah, maybe that's why I lost my job, because I never had my microphone plugged in. They said, Rosanna Dana, what are you doing? So I thought maybe I would come down here and catch me like a big fish, and then I could get my career back on the LMC-TV news, because I heard that they got all these mamby-pamby girls with their pixelated makeup and their fancy schmancy dresses. But they don't got nobody like me that knows how to tell a story. So, but the thing is, you know, if I'm going to catch a fish, then I got to use a worm. First, I got to dig it up. Then I got to put it on the hook. Then I got to thread it like a needle, only the needle goes through the thread. Ew. And it's an icky, slimy, yucky, putsy worm.
You know, it's like this one time Mr. Richard Fretter wrote into me from Fort Lee, New Jersey. He wanted to know about the King Tut exhibition at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. He said, "Dear Roseanne, Rosanna Dana, did you see Tut? Should I see Tut? Did you know that Tut spelled backwards still spells Tut?" Well, Mr. Fetter, you wrote to the right lady, because I, Rosanna Dana, went down there to the museum and checked it all out for you. And you know what? I learned a lot of neat things. Like the Egyptians believe that when you die, you're not really dead. You just go someplace else. So they bury you with all your fine things so you don't have to shop when you get there. Yeah, I think it's a neat idea. So this King Tut was really young when he died, you know, but they buried him with some real fancy schmancy things, like some razzly-dazzly gold masks and some pottery bowls, and even his own cute little teeny-tiny chair. So I thought to myself, Rosanna Dana, if his chair's here in the Metropolitan Museum, and he's over there, he's in the afterlife, and he ain't got no place to sit down. He's been standing around for 3,000 years. So, you know, I was looking in the cast, I was trying to get a better look at everything, and I'm fogging it up with my breath, and I'm wiping it off, and I'm fogging it up. And I looked, and I saw that my tongue was all green from this chlorets mint that I ate to give me good breath. So I tried to scrape it off with my tongue, like this, you know? And then my teeth got all green, and my tongue was green. I thought I was gonna die. It's true, you know? If it's not one thing, it's another. It's always something. It's like my great-aunt Eileen and Debbie always said, it's not the worm, you know? The worm won't get the fish. The cheese will get the fish. But now, I would like to bring on for the awards portion of the show, I would like to bring up Mr. Brian Wilson. So have a good fish. And good night, my little Rosanna Danas.
My teeth are as skilled as a scalpel in a surgeon's hand and as finely honed. Humans think our brains are small. They don't understand.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd like to welcome you to the awards portion of our program. Last year, when Joe asked me to speak, I was pleased to share with you my reasons for joining the LMC-TV team. This year, I wasn't sure what I would speak about, and when my wife joked with me about using my story of growing up in Minnesota, I decided it was perfect, that it fit. So here goes. When I was a boy growing up in Minnesota, my family owned some rural lake property. Actually, Joe knows where it is. My cousin and I would take long walks from one lake to another. And as we explored, we discovered a path that crossed a large field and cut down our travel time considerably. We never gave much thought as to how the path came to be or who cared for it, just that it made our trip much easier. As we grew older, we began to wonder how that path came into existence, how long it had been there, and with this new reflection came a sense of responsibility and commitment toward the path. So if a branch fell across it, we would remove it. Or if the rain created mud, we added dirt to help dry it out. Or if the weeds threatened to cover it, then we removed them. This way, the path was maintained not only for our continued use, but also for those who were to follow after us. So, LMC-TV has reached a very exciting point in its history. This year, we close out an era that has seen the creation and the early childhood of LMC-TV. And next year begins a new era. We join together tonight to celebrate this past year's achievements, and we look forward with expectation for what is to come. Most of us, at least I think most of us, certainly myself, joined LMC-TV as volunteers because of the appeal of television, with little thought of who created it or what its history might be. Today, all of us must assume responsibility for maintaining the channels and for nurturing the growth of our community communications mechanism as we forge a path into the next century, continuing our place as a model access center. So, now to the awards portion of our evening. Our first award this evening is for the best single program in 1992. To present the award is the mayor of Larchmont, Cheryl Louie.
Thank you. It's a real privilege to be here. I had an interesting experience last week. An expert in local community access television came to see me to ascertain my thoughts in our local community on what I thought about LMC-TV and what it might do, how it could be improved, etc. And I realized that I take LMC-TV for granted in a certain way, that it's always there when you need it. They always are at every special community event, no matter where it is or how much equipment they have to bring with them to televise it, to show it so that we can all share it in our community, whether it's our children or a special program for an anniversary or parking in the snow that we just had or a nor'easter or anything like that. And then he went on to tell me that LMC-TV around the country is considered the mecca of local access television. And he told me not to tell you because it would swell everybody's head. But I was just so proud to hear that. He took this assignment because he had heard so much about LMC-TV out in the Midwest that he wanted to come and find out what the secret was, why we do it better. And he said nobody would believe the shows that we put on here in a tiny little studio next to a library, next to an auditorium, and in a school, in a small little studio there. And he said to the rest of the country, when they see LMC-TV shows, it looks like we have all the studios and the best technology in the whole world. And I was just so proud to be a part of it. So with that, it's my pleasure to present the award for Best Program. The nominees are...
Nominated for Best Program, A Day in the Life of Larchmont, produced by Lynn Crowley. The audiovisual presentation for the Larchmont Centennial. The Fishing Rodeo, produced by Eileen Deutsch, shot by Debbie Slansky. A look at Mamaroneck Village's annual fishing competition for children. And Manor Park Centennial Celebration, produced by Bill Littauer and shot by Mike Kachi. Remembrances of Larchmont's historic Manor Park.
Well, here it goes. And the winner is A Day in the Life of Larchmont, produced by Lynn Crowley.
I feel like I need a phone book to stand on. Wow, thank you very much. I'm a little overwhelmed, and Mike Kachi and Eileen and Debbie, I congratulate you two on your programs. But I have to give the most thanks, of course, to the 60 photographers who came out on May 9th, 1991 to chronicle that particular day in the life of Larchmont. We had such a wonderful response to the exhibit of photographs that I felt it really should have a longer life. So I contacted LMC-TV with that end in mind, and the reception I got, especially from Joe Windish, was so warm. I feel very lucky. Mike Kachi himself helped me, well, enormously. The pictures would never have gotten onto tape without him. There were almost 300 photos that we had to shoot and caption. He did a fabulous job, and a big thanks to him. And a few of the photographers themselves who took the pictures came out to help too, and I want to thank them. One of them is Charlie Seaton, Barbara Brown, and Connie Tischler. I'd also like to give a quick thanks to my husband Michael for his support. That consisted mainly of helping me drag big boxes of photographs back and forth. And of course I want to take this opportunity to say a special hello to my son Andrew, who I hope is watching at home tonight. For me, a day in the life of Larchmont was a great start here at LMC-TV. I got all the help I needed, and I got tremendous encouragement to continue at LMC-TV in other ways, which I have, and it's been really wonderful to meet other volunteers who have been so enthusiastic and who produce such wonderful work. I hope that the community appreciates what a wonderful resource we have in LMC-TV. I now realize, I became so familiar with the photos over the years, now it is 2 years since the project was done. When I look back at them now on the tape, I realize that it truly has become a historical record. It's somewhat poignant now looking at some of them, and when I see that some of the people and places depicted in those photographs have actually passed on. So I hope that the tape will have a special place in the archives, as it were. I look forward to doing another day in the life of Larchmont, probably sometime in the next century. It sounds funny to say that, doesn't it? But frankly, I don't think I'd care to wait until the next centennial. Thank you very much.
Our next award is for the best series in 1992, and to present that award, Caroline Silverstone, Supervisor for the town of Mamaroneck.
This is called winging it. Finding out what you're going to do when you get here. But then LMC is such an old friend to me. I have been involved with LMC in one way or another for many years now, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. It has been such a pleasure to do my shows, the On the Town show, since I've been supervisor, and to have such wonderful staff and volunteers there every time. Brian generally, well, actually, Brian is a one-person band. In fact, when I do my show, he runs 3 cameras. He runs the switching operation, and he also cues me and my guest on the show. So, you know, and it always comes out pretty well, thanks to his true professionalism. It's a great outfit, LMC, and I would agree with Cheryl Louie. We are very, very fortunate to have Larchmont Mamaroneck Community Access Cable. And now, I would like to present the nominees for Best Series. Yes.
Nominated for Best Series, National Issues Forum, produced by Sue Hertz of the Larchmont League of Women Voters. A look at national issues from a local perspective. Solving Across and Down, produced by Ed Stein, the Puzzle Man. A guide for viewers through the ins and outs of solving crossword puzzles. Understanding Learning Disabilities, produced by Eleanor Sherman and Hilary Volper, where experts examine the current status of work in the field of learning disabilities.
And the winner is... Okay, this may take glasses. Outstanding Learning Disabilities, produced by Eleanor Sherman. Eleanor Sherman and Hilary Volper.
Oh, God. That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's gorgeous.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, my God.
I wasn't prepared for this. Understanding Learning Disabilities was brought to the community to educate parents and students and educators on this invisible, undiagnosed, frequently learning difference. These children are from average to superior intelligence, and frequently they get labeled incorrectly, and with the right remediation and the right education, they go on to whatever they want to do. The show, I believe, has made an impact in the community. We've brought in experimental programs because of the show, and we've helped a lot of children in correct diagnosis. It's my pleasure to do the work and to receive this award. I thank you all.
I'm positively stunned, and I want you all to know that the last time that I won an award was in 1956 for all-round sub-junior camper. So LMC-TV, I've come a long way. The TV series was, we conceived and created this series with one thing in mind, and that was to provide a community service. We wanted to not only educate, but we also wanted to support those parents and professionals who are committed to helping children and even adults that have learning disabilities. And I know personally that I've learned an awful lot from the program. I want to thank LMC-TV from the bottom of my heart and Eleanor's heart for this great opportunity that they gave two mothers that could put together this kind of program. I want to thank Eleanor for her continuous support and belief in the show and in me and the fact that we could actually achieve this. I'd also like to thank the camera crew, which includes, and this is in alphabetical order, Monty Helgott, George Lucas, Grant Nishanian, David Van Ice, Eric Volper, and to our directors, Jeffrey Axheimer, Owen Joyce, Debbie Slansky. I'd also like to thank all the guests that shared their generous time with us. I mean, they really put in a lot of time. We appreciate it. I'd like to thank Brian Wilson, who has continued to be a source of information, education, and even laughs when you didn't feel like laughing. And to Joe Windish, I haven't met you, Joe, but I'd like to thank you. And last and not least, to my husband, who has always supported me, encouraged me, and to our children, Eric and Mandy, and to my mom, because I wouldn't be here without her. So thank you very, very much.
I would also like to thank my son, Grant Nishanian, for bringing me to LMC-TV. When we moved here 2 years ago, he was at the Children's Library and dragged me in, and that's how it started, that I became a volunteer, and he became a volunteer as well. And I'd also like to thank Brian Wilson for his fabulous support for two parents and teaching us the ropes of putting on a TV show, and to Joe Windish and LMC-TV and my husband, Arron Nishanian, for his support in our endeavors, and I thank you all.
Our third award this evening is, actually I better check this. I know what it is for Outstanding Volunteer for 1992. And to present that award is Walter Rogers, the Deputy Mayor of the Village of Mamaroneck.
Good evening. We're very fortunate here in the Larchmont-Mamaroneck area to have LMC-TV, because as you look around other areas and around the country, they don't do half a job that these people here do at LMC-TV, and it's really the volunteers that has made this all happen. And when you reflect back to the 80s when cable TV was first brought into the tri-municipal area, and you look at it today with all the access, the several access program stations that we have, and the local board meetings and local school board meetings that's on these access channels, they've come a long way. And I'm especially fond of all the volunteers and LMC-TV in general, because I happen to be a little closer to them as a member of the Cable TV Board of Control. And this is an honor for me this evening to present this award. Thank you. This award for Outstanding Volunteer goes to Frank Vincent. Please. Let me just say that I'm honored here this evening to present this to Frank, because not only is he involved with LMC-TV as a volunteer, for many, many years in the village he's been involved as a volunteer. And he deserves a lot of credit, and so does his wife, Gertrude. They're married, 48 years? She must be the inspiration. Frank, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, I got conflicting instructions when I came up here. One person told me to tell my story. Another person told me, 3 minutes and you're out. So I don't know. I'm going to have to take a chance here. I hope it's going to be worth it. Walter, I want to thank you for that introduction. It sounds like you did a little bit of homework. I hope you feel it was worth it. It's appropriate for me at this time to thank all the people at LMC-TV who took part in giving me this award. I started listing the people that I should thank, and I got a list about that long. And every time I looked at it, I determined that I'd left someone out. So I thought I'd dispense with that, and I'm not going to name any names. I'm going to take the risk of proceeding on that basis. You know, the normal participant in access work starts out with an attraction for the TV medium, for its significance to the community, and for the opportunity to get involved in a worthwhile community activity. So they come in, and the first thing we do is put them on camera. That's a simple operation, and they graduate up from that to the technical problems, to the talent and acting, and eventually up to production. My case is a little different. And I thought, since you were nice enough to give me this award, you might be interested in my motives. Most of you know me as a camera person. Whenever you see Frank, he's attached to a camera. Well, I'm as interested in access as any of you, but my camera work goes far back before my interest in LMC-TV. I've been a shutterbug for as long as I can remember. I graduated into camcorder and studio camera work from a movie camera. I can tell you exactly how long that was, too. It was 44 years and 8 months since the day we got baby Joanne out of the hospital. I bought my first movie camera for that occasion, and I've been filming ever since. Before that, I was a camera buff from the time I was a kid in Boy Scouts. During World War II, when I was sent overseas, I hid a small camera in my duffel. This was strictly against regulations and could have got me in trouble. But I couldn't resist the opportunity to record some of the action. As it was, I got some real good shots of the peaceful and beautiful Japanese countryside. So that gives you an idea of my motivation and my interest in Access TV. I hope to develop my skills further because I really believe in the community mission of LMC-TV and all the people, both professional and volunteer, who are associated with it. I want to thank those producers and directors who have given me the opportunity and the privilege of taking part in their individual productions. LMC-TV, besides its great entertainment value to the community, represents in a true sense the creation of works of art. I look up to and admire people who get an idea, develop it as producers, who exhibit their talent before the camera, their keen interest in direction, management, and the technicalities. At this time, I want to thank the leadership of LMC-TV, to express my appreciation for their effort, and to the panel of judges who gave me this honor. And lastly, I want to thank my wife, Gertrude, who has put up with me with good grace for the many evenings that I've dated LMC.
The final award this evening is the Community Communications Award. And to present that this evening, we have with us Fritzy of Fritzy and Friends.
Because we're friends and we always will be.
And Olivia, my orangutan, who visits me from Brazil because her trees were being cut down, and that's why she's with us tonight.
That's correct. That's why I'm here. Part of the reason anyway. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Academy.
Excuse me? I think you're missing the picture here. This is the wrong night.
Pardon me, that's Monday night.
Okay, Olivia, we're here for LMC-TV tonight, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, tonight, Olivia and I have the wonderful honor of giving a very special award to Eleanor Sherman, who was up earlier, and the LMC Children's Television Production Workshop. This workshop is made up of a wonderful group of talented young boys and girls and parent volunteers. Together, they have worked over the year and have fully staffed and produced a variety of shows from sports talk and ongoing series to three-dimensional drawings with Michael Ryan and the kids' TV scavenger hunt.
Can we move this along? I have a date with Bernie.
Excuse me? She doesn't tell me about all the people she goes out with these days. Okay. You believe I have to live with this? Anyway, Eleanor Sherman, the creator and the producer of this show, was among the first 3 women to enter the film program at the School of Visual Arts in 1968. In those days, there was a father and son union.
In those days, they didn't even have electricity.
As I was saying, in those days, there was a father and son union which prohibited women from working in the film industry. So Eleanor had to put her dreams on hold. Well, here we are tonight, after 20 years, honoring this fine filmmaker and a new generation of film students. Come on up.
Children come up.
And clap for the animals. Stand up and clap for the animals. Help them to survive. Help them stay alive. The whales like swimming out on the sea, and the eagles flying to be free. You got to stand up and clap for the animals. Help them to survive. Help them stay alive.
think we have some future filmmakers here as well. Kids TV production workshop started when my son brought me into LMC-TV, and he started volunteering. And I went to Brian Wilson, who had just come on board, and said, wouldn't it be wonderful to teach other children television production? And Brian said, let's do it. And he provided a full staff and his expertise in teaching the children all areas of TV production, from concept to delivery of a TV show. We started with sports talk with Ross Frankel and Alex Horowitz, two wonderfully talented young men. We went on to drawing with Michael Ryan, three-dimensional drawing, another very talented young man. And we've done a number of different projects together. LMC-TV has offered our children in the community a wonderful opportunity for a real hands-on experience in television. I really do believe that many of these children have the potential to go on to careers in the area. I would like to also thank many of the volunteers, specifically Vicki Horowitz, Maddie and Al Frankel, Leslie Korngold, particularly Sandra Lucas, who's always been there for us when nobody could make it. And I just wanted to say 2 years ago to the week, we moved from Manhattan to Larchmont. And a friend of mine had said, you know, it takes 2 years to feel at home and part of the community. And this is one heck of a welcome. Thank you.
Bear with me, I have a few more remarks before I'm finished with this portion of the show. Actually, Joe doesn't know about this, but before we go on to the last part of the program, I would like to take an opportunity to thank a few people. I sat down, I had the opportunity today just to watch last year's award program, and I realized that while we honor all of the members of the community, nobody bothered to say anything about our part-time staff last year. And I'm very proud of our part-time staff here at LMC-TV. They are young, energetic, and creative in their enthusiasm and their eagerness to help the community members and to bring Larchmont and Mamaroneck into your homes. That part of their commitment is unmatched. Although this is only a part-time job for them, they offer countless hours of volunteer time to make sure that the work is done. In fact, between the 4 or 5 of them, they probably put in 30 or more hours a week that they're not being paid for. Larry Weinstein has been with us for just about a year because he joined us right before we did the Sadie Hawkins Award dance last year, and he has proven himself to be invaluable. Frank Marraffino, who is no stranger to LMC-TV as a volunteer, has just recently joined the staff, and his ideas and innovations have already had a positive impact on the daily operation. And without his support and his dedication, I would not be able to do my job. Doug Carroll has brought creativity and consistency to our meeting coverage that we haven't had before. And Kevin Coyne has brought technical expertise to the Palmer studio. And I know that Joe Windish is very grateful for April's patience and dedication. And Joe Chamberlin, who has also been volunteering and been working for us for about a year, is always willing to help and to learn, and he can always be counted on to come through in a bind. So although I don't say this to them often enough, thank you. And I have one other thank you to make, and that is to my wife, Marge, who puts up with a lot of long hours and a lot of my coming home and complaining and my frustration. And so thanks, Marge, for everything, all your support. And now we have a commercial break, a message from an important sponsor.
Tired of endlessly rubbing away at your car with an ineffective car wax? Well, we've got the cure. Welcome to Amazing Innovations, where postmodern technological advances are extrapolated for uses in your domicile or designated workspace. Today on Amazing Innovations, we introduce Barnacle Bee-Wax for your car. Watch now as Pixie demonstrates the fast cleaning action of Barnacle Bee-Wax. Barnacle Bee-Wax is handcrafted from the finest wax farms in the northern Sheldrake River region. Dirt and grime just take a hike as Pixie masterfully applies this easy-to-use household miracle.
And it's good for your hands, too.
Yes, that's right. Pixie's hands are soft and smooth despite hours of cleaning away. All from Barnacle Bee-Wax. But that's not all. Dilute it with ordinary tap water and it becomes a practical shampoo. Just look at Pixie's shiny alloy-filled mane glimmering in the studio light. How much would you pay for this amazing technology? $12.95? No. $29.95? Never. $39.99? But of course. But wait! And when you're done waiting, there's more. Barnacle Bee-Wax is so powerful.
How powerful is it?
Years of harbor waste buildup from your boat. Trim off the years of corrosion from a Marraffino harbor. And the Barnacle Bee-Wax acts as a natural repellent to all those sea mammals, such as those pesky sea otters in the Marraffino harbor. And there's more. It's also perfect for cleaning your duck decoys. And just look how effective it is when you spray it like mace. In fact, you'll never run out of new and creative uses for Barnacle Bee-Wax. Well, at least some of us won't. So, write us immediately for your one-year supply. Barnacle Bee-Wax, care of Pier 52, Sheldrake River Region, Mamaroneck, New York. Don't settle for a substitute. Tell them to mind their own beeswax.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Chloe Awards. I'm sorry, the People's Choice Awards? Soap Opera Digest? What? There's so many of these award shows. How am I supposed to know? Where am I? Help me. LMC-TV Awards. Oh, yeah, the LMC-TV Awards, the local cable access awards celebrating the people's right to freedom of speech. Now, this is an award show I can truly stand behind because it really celebrates this country's belief in our First Amendment. Just last week, I was talking to Bill and Hillary about the importance of this very issue, and I was thinking maybe I would call Nita Lowy. There is a growing need for the individual to share in an outlet that allows for the communication with the community. Joe, did I do it right? But tonight we celebrate what's good in this community. And I know there was some talk of my running for the Senate after the inauguration, but I don't know. I don't know if the Senate's the right place to start. I was thinking maybe I would settle down right here in Larchmont and Mamaroneck and run for office. What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, Republican or Democrat, this is your town. Well, I'd really like to thank you all for coming out this evening and sharing in this wonderful evening with us. And right now, I'd like to welcome back Sonny Goldberg and Joe Windish. Thank you and have a lovely evening.
That was terrific. I want to thank you all. I want to congratulate the winners and the nominees. When I walked in tonight, Tony Ryan said to me, "Oh, Sonny, this is just like being back with our family. This is a get-together of like a family." And that's the way I feel. And I was so thrilled by your words, Cheryl. I thank you for talking with that fellow because it was just, I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm very, very proud to be a part of LMC-TV. I've been here a while, and I feel very comfortable in this. because our community now seems to be not a large place, but as was mentioned here tonight, you can live here for a very short time, get involved in this television station, or just turn it on and meet your neighbors and learn about your town. And it's a marvelous, wonderful opportunity for all of us. And I think tonight was an example of how terrifically together we can become through this medium. And I'd like to take a few minutes to thank my board of directors, because without them, we would not be functioning. I'd like to start by naming Fred Coyne, who I don't know whether he's been able to be here or not. He was trying to hold off going to Hong Kong, but if he's not, we thank him anyway. Julie DiRamondo, I saw, our treasurer. I made her sit in the second row. She wasn't that happy with me, but she's a very important person, and we thank her for all her time. Hank also wasn't that happy to sit in the second row, but without Hank, we wouldn't know what we were all about, since he keeps all of our records and keeps track of us and keeps us very much in line. Rita Blockton. I don't know what to say about Rita. She's a dear friend, been with me for a very long time. We started together in the Community Cable Coalition. As Gracie Pugh reminded me, I think it was in 1980, before we had cable in this community. The reason I want to take 2 seconds to just thank Rita especially is because she is going off the board, and she's been marvelous, and I don't know what I'll do without her wonderful smile when I go in there, and I thank you, Rita. Mira Keemstra, who was in charge of membership, sitting right out there and has done just a marvelous job. We thank her and her ladies, who I'll say more about in a minute. Alexandra Leclerc, who was in charge of this evening's program, we thank you very much, and she's done a beautiful job, and we invite you all to join us afterwards for a wine and dessert reception that Alexandra has made beautiful. And thank you for this evening. Frank Light, I don't know what to say. Frank is a fixture on our board, and his words are words of wisdom, and I depend greatly upon him for his help and his faxes and his kindness and his constant way of stating things just in the right manner. Thank you, Frank. And last but not least, I'd like to mention Susan Spencer-Marola, who is not able to be with us tonight, but I know she's watching at home, and I want to thank you and to tell you we're all pulling for you, and she's one of the bravest people I know, and hello, Susan. We have also a board of control, starting with Ken Bialo, who I don't think is, who was supposed to be here. I don't know. Kate is having a baby at any second, and it may be tonight, because I didn't see Ken come in. But he serves on the Board of Control. Walter Rogers, who you did see before, who's here. And Paul Ryan from the town of Mamaroneck, who you haven't seen yet this evening. But we thank you all. You did a terrific job. And then there's somebody else very special sitting out there, and that's Joe Fraioli. I don't know if you all know how important Joe is to us. He organizes all of our meetings. He listens to all of your complaints, and there have been quite a few, right, Joe, lately? He's just terrific, and we thank you so much. I don't know what we would do. I certainly don't know what I would do without Joe. I think we are very fortunate in Larchmont Mamaroneck to have such a gentleman as Joe Fraioli as our administrator. Thank you, Joe. And Carmen DeLuca is our treasurer as well. I'd also mention to you that a very tough job, right? When you don't have a great deal to work with, it's an extremely tough job. I'd like to also mention Mira's ladies who are sitting out there. Virginia Tomaselli is the organizer of these ladies, and they stuff and help us get out our membership drive. They've done this now. This will be the 3rd year?
They save our lives.
They save our lives. And I want you to know that Virginia said that she's a retired woman, and she doesn't like to watch soap operas, and she was kind of bored just sitting around, so she volunteers to help organizations, charitable organizations like ourselves, get themselves rolling and get out their membership drives, etc. And she and all her lady stuffers who are here tonight, welcome and thank you. And I want you to know they're not from Mamaroneck and Larchmont. They're from Central White Plains. So this is a great big family, this Westchester family of ours. So thank you. This, as I mentioned to you just a few minutes ago, that it's kind of a family feeling. When my friend Sheila walked in, she said, "Sonny, this is what friends are for. We come out tonight." And I would say to all of my friends who've been wonderfully supportive, Ruth Brass, who made brownies again, and every one of you, I thank you all. But I do believe that this place is worth it, all the input that you've helped me put into it. It's truly a wonderful organization, and I thank you for all of that. Roger Norm, I love hearing your voice, Roger, the voice of LMC-TV. I know he's out there someplace, and he's terrific. It's always so exciting when he says my name. I feel like very important walking up here. And I just want you all to note that in the little journal here, the advertisers who help us out with this journal are all local people. If you go in there, just tell them you went in there because you saw it in LMC-TV's journal. We've done this so many times, and people in this town and the villages are just wonderfully supportive. And I try very hard to use these people who advertise in journals, and I hope you will help us in that. And we did mention the Emlyn Theater in the back here. We gave them a whole list of all their upcoming things, but what we forgot to do was to tell you what was happening with our upcoming events. And I just wanted to remind you that Jukebox Friday Night is coming again. Thanks to Rita, and we're going to have the same place, Larchmont Yacht Club, May 21st, the same DJ, so that Paul and all his dancing friends should know that, and we look forward to a terrific night, so we hope you'll all remember. You'll be getting your invitations in the mail, and I don't know, Joe, I think I probably should end by, I don't know how to say thank you to you. Really, you and your staff are just the best. It makes the president's job fairly easy, more than easy, just ridiculously easy to have somebody like you. You are the life of the channel, and you and your volunteers and Brian and your staff are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, my thank yous. Sonny Goldberg and the board of directors who keep me on in spite of all those times that they know about when I have some of my worst moments. Alexandria LeClaire for this. This was really hard for her because it was one of my worst moments at times. Susan Spencer Marola, I'm so proud to have you as my friend. And thank you for watching. The staff, Brian Wilson. Brian is an invaluable asset to me and to LMC-TV. It's incredible. I loved your words tonight, and I love your work. Thank you. All the volunteers who made tonight possible, yesterday up on ladders hanging these things. It's incredible how much work they do and how late they're here, 2 or 3 in the morning, from the morning, I mean. Hank Sarasoli, who built it every year, I tell you.
And he put on a jacket tonight.
It's just, these things would not happen without Hank, and it's really great. Paul, the technical director of the Emlyn, Norman Klein and the Emlyn staff are welcoming us to the theater every year, Joan Grott for the library, and Marianne Sullivan, our first president, who I always thank you, Marianne. And next is all of the people in this community, because every time like this award show happens and I get to see the Kids TV Workshop, you guys are great, and all of the people who won, and I'm sorry for the nominees who didn't, but I'm glad you got nominated, and And lastly, I want to thank the viewers and you guys here who have been putting up with us lately, because there have been a lot of problems, technical problems I'm talking about. You have to turn the volume up sometimes, you have to do all of this kind of stuff. And we've got a new channel, 3 channels. Launching that channel is kind of tough, but there is an analogy, those of you who hear me speak, there's an analogy I often make that I'm now going to make for everyone, which is this. The Emlyn Chorus is a pretty good chorus. If you haven't seen them, you can see them tomorrow night at 9 on Channel 15. But if you put our Emmeline Chorus right next to the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, you will notice that they are not the technical equivalent. We are right next door to all those broadcast channels. And if you look, you see we're not the technical equivalent. But we love that our community comes together in song and raises its voice, so we forgive some of those technical problems with the chorus, and I'm sure you're going to forgive some of those with us, and I appreciate that. And one other interesting statistic that I would like you all to consider is this. If you added up all the money it cost for us, and that's like all of the salaries and all of the equipment and videotape and computers and paper clips, and add it all up for the 10 years that we've been around, and you'll have enough money to make one episode of Northern Exposure.
Did you hear that, negotiating committee?
We did 1,000 shows this year, and we're going to close tonight by looking at a sample from a few of them from last year. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Here's a look at some of the programs produced in 1992 by Larchmont Mamaroneck Community Television's wonderful volunteer producers. The Mamaroneck Volunteer Fire Department's Inspection Night was covered by producer Julie O'Clair. The difficult situation surrounding date rape and Rita Blockton's Wide Asleep. Larchmont Landscapes, celebrating Mayor Miriam Kernan's 11 years in office by producer Alice Bloom. Central School presents A Tour of the Western Hemisphere by Sheila Coyne. Producer Lynn Crowley's picturesque A Day in the Life of Larchmont and her Larchmont Internationale, where she visits with foreign folks who reside locally. Hank Sarasoli's Local Sports Hour covers the games of Rhinebeck High School. Eileen Deutsch presented Volunteers 92, and along with Debbie Slansky, produced Fishing Rodeo 92. Eileen also dealt with her own bout with breast cancer in Nothing is Mightier Than the Sword. Eileen also produced the live call-in show Larchmont Mamaroneck Summer, along with co-producer Greg Fetterbush. The Old Timers Athletic Association and the Mamaroneck Historical Society's Historical Marker Dedication by this year's Volunteer of the Year, Frank DeVincent. Greg Fetterbush drove home America's Love Affair, our ongoing relationship with the automobile. Julio Gutierrez presented Positive Black Images in the 90s, on location at Harbor Island Park. Drawing on her gift as a painter, Mary Hargrave brought us Portraits in Perspective. Producer John Heffernan discussed issues with prominent figures on Men at Their Best. Sue Hertz presented the Larchmont League of Women Voters local edition of the National Issues Forum. Larchmont Mayor Cheryl Louie gave us Larchmont Note. The beautiful sights of the Manor Park Centennial at Fountain Square, captured by Bill Littauer and Mike Kochi. Frank Marraffino's Mamaroneck Sports Hour. Pat Michelizzi's Standing Room Only. Bruce McNichols' It'll Get Better. Susan Spencer Marola's Of Mice and Mozart by the Chatsworth Avenue School. Prolific producer Jeff Montanero's Dreadnought Concert Series, and with Sven Ume, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. Alice Modell brought us Pajama Story Time. Randy Norum dealt us some financial facts. Mayor Paul Noto took us inside Mamaroneck. Our youngest producer, Grant Nishanian, showed us the Ragamuffin Parade. Dee O'Brien's The 12th Night. Report from the State Senate with our own Senator Susie Oppenheimer. Mamaroneck historian Gloria Pritz met with 100-year-old Mamaroneck resident Louis DiFrancesco. Sally Salerno entertained us with sensational sounds. Nancy Seligson of the Long Island Sound Task Force taught us how to test your harbor. Also in 92 there was Sports Talk with Ross and Alex, part of Eleanor Sherman's Kids TV Workshop. Reverend Bill Shillity's Mamaroneck United Methodist Church Services. Dr. Alan Singer's Fitness Break. For the Fireman's Carnival, Do You Believe in Magic by Debbie Slansky. The Tall Ships on Long Island Sound and Nancy St. Lifer's Op Sale 92. Mitch Stern's classic soap opera, Romantic Triangles. Chuck Taylor's Community Sports Network. Carol West's Scary, Trick or Treat on 36. Lisa Wunderler's Tai Chi 92. And Marie Zaccaria's Portraits in Culture with the Japanese American Mothers Association. Let's not forget all the programs by our community organizations, like the Junior League of Westchester on the Sound's presentation of the Health Fair at New Rochelle Hospital, the League of Women Voters Congressional Candidates Debate, Envoy Spécial by the French Welcome Service, the Emlyn Trio, the Emlyn Chorus, Rhinebeck and Mamaroneck High School Graduation, Rhinebeck Schools Report, Know Your Schools, Saturday Stories from the Mamaroneck Library, and of course, Mamaroneck Village and Town Board Meetings. LMC-TV also cablecasts programs from outside sources, like Jerusalem Online, Deep Dish TV, UK Today, Social Security and You, and Everyone's Channel. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community Television thanks our community producers and organizations and reminds you to catch some of our own homespun programs, like the live severe weather updates, live Fireman's Parade and Carnival, the Sadie Hawkins Dance, Lincoln an Illustrated Biography, and Roberta Peters at the Emlyn Theater. Thanks to the Larchmont and Mamaroneck community for watching and making LMC-TV.
Transportation for tonight's guest provided by Windish Limousine Service, where comfort is king. Accommodations for tonight's guest provided by the lovely Larchmont Motel. They'll keep the light on for you.
Let's eat.
Thanks for watching the 4th Annual LMC-TV Awards Presentation Program. If you would care to get involved with LMC-TV, contact the Palmer Avenue Studio in Mamaroneck High School across the street from Walter's Hot Dogs at 698-6808. Or call Studio 2 at the Mamaroneck Free Library just off the Emlyn Theater lobby at 381-0131. Thanks for watching. I'm Roger Nora.
annoying back pain.